Hey guys, my name is Nora Franche, and welcome to the podcast Grateful Blessed Mess, daily reflections for those in the 12 steps. I am a fellow 12-stepper and certified mindset coach, and I am here to introduce you to the value of mindset coaching in your 12-step journey. So if you feel like you are stuck in the steps, if you're slipping and sliding with your abstinence, mindset coaching may help you as it did me, and you can find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. These episodes are meant to invite you in to consider the truths of 12-step wisdom and to join in the very real struggle of living them in action. I hope that it feels almost like a mini meeting, and I invite you to contribute your own share on the Grateful Blessedness Facebook group to keep the discussion going. My comments are based on my own experience, so feel free to take what you like and leave the rest. But my hope is to encourage you on your own daily 12-step journey. As they say, you cannot stay clean on yesterday's shower. So without further ado, let's begin. Hey guys, we are reading from A Day at a Time, December 10th. Have I ever stopped to think that the impulse to blow off steam and say something unkind or even vicious will, if followed through, hurt me far more seriously than the person to whom the insult is directed? I must try constantly to quiet my mind before I act with impatience or hostility, for my mind can be, in that very real way, an enemy as great as any I've ever known. Will I look before I leap, think before I speak, and try to avoid self-will to the greatest extent possible? Today I pray. May I remember that my blow-ups and explosions, when they are torrents of accusations or insults, hurt me just as much as the other person. May I try not to let my anger get to the blow-up stage simply by recognizing it as I go along and stating it as a fact. Today I will remember, keep a loose lid on the teapot. Yes! Oh, I have such a good example of this. Not exactly anger, but of calling out my emotions. And I think this is just so effective. So I could tell that someone I live with was very frustrated, very irritated. They were going on and on and on and on and on and on about something that happened that day. And eventually I kind of pumped the brakes and I was like, all right, I hear you. I can tell that you feel frustrated. Do you feel frustrated? Yeah, I feel frustrated. Okay. Can we process this emotion of frustration? Like, no. I was like, okay. So person sat down. So what they let me do with them was work through and just first off, we can't get anywhere when our emotions are so loud. And the thing is, I think that a lot of us have learned or picked up along the way is that if we can just like white knuckle it and swallow it down, that emotion will like get digested and go away. And it won't. It lingers and it builds and then it like distorts into other emotions. And so I like this idea of it says right here, simply recognizing it as I go along and stating it as a fact. So first off, just saying, I feel frustrated, which I said it wasn't anger. Frustration is an element of anger. It's under the umbrella of anger for sure. But calling it out, saying, I'm angry, I'm frustrated. Like that helps actually. Try it. If you're experiencing like a hard emotion, just say like, I'm sad. I did that the other day with myself. I was just like kind of frustrated and being like, I shouldn't feel this way. And then I just after a while, I was like, you know what? I'm just sad. I'm just really sad. And it helps. Try it. So this person was frustrated. And so I was like, okay, like, let's just call it what it is. You're frustrated and like, close your eyes and like, where do you feel frustration in your body? And it's like, oh, between the shoulders, or like in my neck, and it's hot and it's like fast. It's moving. Like, okay, what color is it? It's like dark orange. Okay, so you have this dark orange moving, frustrated or sensation of frustration in your body that's like fast and it's hot. Like, okay, can you like, this is just like an imaginative exercise. And it's like, okay, can we take this hot orange moving thing and like take it out of that, the place between our shoulders? Can we hold it in our hands? And can we look at it? And it's like, okay. And what that does is it helps you just like remove yourself from your emotions. Because as much as we think it is so, we are not our emotions. We are not what we are feeling. We are so much bigger and more permanent than the transience of an emotion, whether it's intense or minimal or small or big. We are so much more than that. But in the moment, we think we are like, I am angry. And it's like, no, you're experiencing the strong emotion of anger. But you are good. That's it. You are loved. That's it. You are you. You're a human. You are not anger. So you are it's incorrect grammar almost to say I am angry. And I could go on a tangent about other languages and how they actually like compose their sentences to describe things, but I'm not. Tangent for another day. But I think there's something that in the English language is almost like a handicap because we're taught to say like, I am angry. I am frustrated. And it's these identity statements, and that's just not correct. And I think this is like a huge focus of where my coaching is going and my personal work is going, is this identity work of separating ourselves, knowing who we are and separating that from our experiences, from our actions, from our emotions in our body, and learning how to distinguish the two. Because when I think emotions become unbearable is when we don't know or we can't tell that emotion is not me, that the experience that brought on that emotion is separate from the goodness of who I am, and who I am is good and unique and loved and has a purpose and a mission in being here. And that is completely separate. I've said this before. I'm not the good or the bad that I do. I am simply the evidence of God. And think about that. And let me know where it lands with you. I would love to hear some feedback. And please, I'm asking you to share this podcast, to share it with your friends. Or if you happen to be someone who does go to meetings, if you could share it with your fellows, spread it around. The message only grows if you are someone who passes it along. So with that, I will pass. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you feel that mindset coaching could help you on your 12-step journey, please feel free to reach out and find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. But more than that, it's important to me to give listeners like yourself a place where you do not need to feel alone on your 12-step journey. And for that reason, I've created a Facebook group. It's called Grateful Blessed Mess. And it's a place where listeners can go to add their own commentary on the share for the day, in addition to my own, and for us just to have a conversation or start a back and forth where people can find support in their 12-step journey. This is not a replacement for 12-step work. This is something outside of the 12 steps. It is simply something that has a heart for the 12 steps and those who are in it. And so, welcome. If you are here, chances are you may also be a bit of a mess. And I hope that you can learn to find some gratitude in the blessings that have come from your messes.